Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Steve.
All right. We're gonna call it.
Yeah, so he should be calm. I think he's appreciative now of the work that was
Chairman
done.
Steve Dyer.
Here.
Ryan Green.
Here.
Kyle Cook.
Softly.
Here.
Mark Zolanzewski.
I spoke with Sean. It sounds like you
Brian
all
Hebel.
have resolved this. If you need anything, let me know.
Not the other thing.
I don't think we have any public comments.
Okay.
Oh, well, the,
Public comment on items not on the agenda?
I don't think
That's
so.
fine.
Seeing none, hear none. Moving on. Approval of the minutes from last week.
I motion to approve.
That's fine.
I'll second.
That's fine.
Glad you didn't abstain.
Anyways, I like having all
I think
that
everybody was
writing.
here.
I hate.
Are all in favor?
I thought you were wrong.
Aye. You're totally fine. No. Yeah, he called me today though.
Application 9425 Green Chapel Road lot split. Does the staff have anything, comments on this?
Staff is going to defer to the applicant to run through what this is and why it's necessary, and all of the above questions can be directed towards them.
A lot split.
Does Brian work at the church?
Ryan?
Is that,
Just walked over.
He said he had already made a commitment to set up something.
oh, okay, so
soccer
he's doing,
dinner.
I was just saying he's walking
okay.
over from the church. I'm like, I didn't know you worked
That
there.
might be where it's at.
Sorry, Jamie.
No worries. I know last time we talked about making sure we had more map sets to present at times. Am I able to plug in, or otherwise I can use my computer
Oh,
screen?
gotcha.
So,
Jamie, if you told me this ahead of time.
Actually, just
No,
after
we had time.
started.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah, we,
We could have utilized.
it was just
the
me and
half
Kyle
hour
holding down the fort.
tee up
Oh, that's
time.
good.
So you guys got
We didn't
it?
have a quorum.
Do I need to sign in when I come in or no?
Nope. Can we adjust the minutes to show Brian got here?
Yes, I will.
Gotta make sure he gets paid.
You don't get paid for that. Only if you're on time.
Only if I'm
Yes,
really
we're gonna call him
wondering
present
why I'm the
now.
only one that doesn't get paid.
Oh,
Yeah, you keep missing it. You missed that paycheck,
We'll
didn't
get, we'll get it figured out.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Hey,
you? If you gotta go to HR in the
Call
basement.
you
about
and
that.
leave a message?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get you a number to call.
okay.
If it's not ready, just keep waiting.
Just keep waiting.
It's got some really nice music.
Club beat.
Yeah, it's a club beat, little EDM there.
Yeah.
Jamie, there's a shelf that slides out on the right. I don't know if that's
Oh.
helpful.
I think I got it plugged in. I
Okay.
want to see what I need to do to connect.
It takes a minute.
Okay.
Just give it a second.
Uh,
Or jiggle the cord.
I mean, you got
There you go.
a computer that can
Oh, this worked?
hack the
Maybe.
I wish. I
They got you a new
I had to
one.
buy this myself because their computer was.
Yeah, pull that shelf up.
Oh,
Put the stand close.
we can. Okay, it's coming up.
You got some cool hacker thing.
Did it time out? Let me,
No, they were on.
all right, just, oh,
I know. I think
hang on,
Oh, there's one.
back on.
maybe I'll have to bring.
Oh my gosh,
Hard
it's
copy.
turning one off and,
Too far away.
I mean, I can show you guys on my screen on my computer. It'd be easier.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, it looks like it's.
what is happening?
You gotta get right next to it. If you.
Yeah, it looks like
I
it
know,
has.
I'm like, it's,
It looks like it has the desktop, but it's
It
not
is
showing the
I mean, I'm good
actual.
with just watching.
Oh, interesting.
You're not
Yeah.
projecting, so you probably have it.
If you want to watch
Ventura was on there.
Jumanji or Titanic.
You see that?
yeah.
Netflix came up. I said we could just watch Ace Ventura.
That'd
Yeah.
be perfect.
Titanic was on there.
You
Actually,
might
a
have
story
block
of a
where it
terrible
doesn't
woman that
project.
Oh,
Drown a
it'd
man.
have to be like some.
Yeah.
I can just probably.
married a guy and was with him for 70 years and
I
on her
understand
deathbed
that
didn't
he's
think about him at all.
Yeah, did he
Threw a multi-million-dollar gem into the ocean instead of giving it to her kids.
Yeah, she's kind of
Yeah, there's a setting I think that you've got to allow.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
Does
Check
Disney
it.
own that yet? She's a Disney villain now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They will own it eventually. If they don't now.
All right. So
There's a gag Disney at Mickey Mouse and Princess.
for context, if you remember. Sorry, am I getting ahead of myself? Do I need to protocol? Okay. All right. If you remember this area right original substation was to be constructed. We did we're in the process of finalizing a land swap with LRE to move their substation here. The New Albany company would then be acquiring this site that could then be absorbed into whatever gets developed here. But the big thing is, the TID is doing a roundabout at Duncan Plains and Mink, so we'll clean it up, and we're not gonna have a ugly substation at this corner. Now, in order to legally transfer the property to LRE, we have to establish a legal parcel, and to do that, this square has to have legal frontage on a street. We did not have a path to getting it to Duncan Plains because Cologix owns this property. Cologix has granted an electric easement and a general utility easement along this site here, but the only way for us to establish a legal parcel right now in the short term is to do this gooseneck down here. We looked at like having this, we looked at all different goofy ways to bring it down, you know, how it should come this way. Long story short, what we're doing with LRE, they need access to get in there. You can see hypothetically this roundabout that's in place. We are going to have a road that tees off here. We don't know yet exactly where this road's gonna go up. If, for example, let's say one person buys these 44 acres and this 100 acres, then this road configuration might change. Or if, let's say somebody buys this parcel here and then here, then that road configuration could change. So at the end of the day, LRE is able and willing to work with us to, what's likely to happen is this road extends up, and there's maybe a cul-de-sac here, and then LRE's legal frontage will tee off somewhere in that area. So let's see. So I think,
I mean,
I didn't draw.
So there's no frontage requirement in this district?
no, it's,
As far as, there's a frontage requirement, but
You have to
you're
have
saying
fr-
like a feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not in this district, no. It's,
Yeah.
it's similar to some of the other districts in the code that basically says it has to be wide enough to meet all the other requirements of the zoning code.
I mean, we've created another flag lot in this area already there off of Mink. So we've done that, but I know traditionally we're not trying to create more flag lots. But this is a little different being that it's a utility.
Yeah, and we, you know, they're not going to have a sign here that says, you know, come to LRE's substation. We're going to have you know, the likely scenario is there's a road that comes up here, some type of cul-de-sac that will get LRE access here when they need it, but then maybe this keys off for this user and then this user. I mean, this could go a million different
So if
ways.
somebody buys all of it, then is it going all the way around it?
Yeah, if somebody could come in and buy this whole parcel here, including LRE, then they might have to work with LRE to get an easement to get access, like an access easement. There could be a drive aisle, or yeah, the LRE just needs to get guaranteed access to their substation. So I think that's how.
Well, currently, that's all owned by the Johnstown Land Company, right?
Yes.
And you're just, what are we splitting? Because it's already split into 14 parcels. You're just trying to make it so LRE has their own parcel?
Yeah, we need to establish a separate legal parcel for LRE
For
so
LRE.
that we can do the land swap transfer and that they can start construction on their
I think you're right
substation
there.
because they want to and have to own their little
I mean,
square parcel.
right, they just need
And they
to,
own that thing in the corner now, but then they're gonna move it to where that
Yeah.
square is? Is that what you're saying? That's the,
LRE currently owns this parcel over here. It's actually this
yeah.
area. It's about 10 acres, and then they're going to transfer here so that they get the substation out of sight, out of mind, and then
Okay.
also closer to Cologix to serve them. So it's kind of a win-win for Cologix, LRE, us, and the city.
And they just want to put, and we have a stipulation, there has to be
Here's
frontage for them to put
Yeah,
that there?
yeah,
You're right on, like.
this gooseneck is because to establish a legal frontage, we can't have a parcel, we can't just have a parcel here. It has to have
can't have a
frontage
landlocked
to a
parcel.
street.
But they need to be able to get to it, though.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't, we won't allow landlocked parcels, basically. Yeah.
That's exactly it, yeah. But eventually, if this road connects up, however, wherever it goes,
Right.
this will have either a connector to the road or an access easement through somebody's property.
Yeah, just currently, we have to run a parcel down to Green Chapel
Correct.
because we don't know where that road will go in the future.
Right.
It's not a great I mean, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but it's the best for the temporary solution so they can start construction.
Well, and right now, there's no buyers of the other land except Johnstown Land Company, right?
That's correct, but I had a meeting today with a potential buyer for this 44-acre site. I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere yet, but if somebody bought that, we might not need to do much with their parcel, we'd probably clean it up a little bit. We've also showed this site to a great economic development driver, that came to us through One Columbus and Jobs Ohio last week, the two completely separate. So I don't know which one will fall first or which one will sell first in the sequencing. You know, we are generally seeing a lot of activity from biopharmaceutical, we're seeing some activity from advanced manufacturing, data centers aren't slowing down. 100-acre sites seem to be very desirable right now, and we have two 100-acre sites right here that, you know, those dominoes could fall at the same time.
What's the risk of it becoming landlocked? Like, you know, if this road's temporary and someone buys another one and.
So I shouldn't say
is
it's,
that ever a
I sh-
risk?
I shouldn't say no, because it couldn't,
Can't legally.
yeah, we
Right.
couldn't,
Okay, then that's.
yeah, we couldn't,
Expand, but it probably won't.
this will have to have access somewhere. So if this road's just drawn as hypothetical, but there's a little more science behind it because it includes the proper radius and turnaround. But if this came up here, this area, and you put a cul-de-sac here that maybe the front door was, the front door for this site was here, front door for this site was here, and then LRE would still need access up
Yep.
this drive,
All right.
so,
No, it was-
but, yeah. So,
And it's not uncommon to have this sort of scenario and this sort of development pattern. I've experienced similar things like this in the past dealing with a plan development, and it's just kind of to Jamie's point, like, if they knew today exactly what this would look like, then this would be a non-issue. They would plat it all and be done with it. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if over time that boundary has to change multiple times, just as the roadways are figured out and parcels
Yeah.
are sold, things
That's
like that.
absolutely fair.
Yeah.
yeah, we looked at a drawing about what if the gooseneck came over here,
Yeah, it's,
not ideal.
No.
We looked at it the opposite way as well.
can't go the other way, because I
think
mean,
anyone's
you've
gonna
got
complain
drainage
that
coming
it's
down through there.
Yeah,
No one's
That's
gonna
not
complain that
ideal either.
substation's hidden
Yeah.
at all.
And
And you're
we'll-
gonna have the roundabout lead to it somehow.
we even looked into acquiring some parcels along Duncan
better than it
Plains to
being on the
potentially
corner.
give them access, which that didn't really work out, but making sure that they had the easement so that they could serve Duncan Plains. You could see LRE.
Is that button up against Rush's property? Does he know? Does he know?
So LRE,
Sure.
It's too late, I guess. I mean, it's nothing we can do, right?
yeah. The setbacks requirements are good there. And I think you can see where some folks' homes are, and some people might have an appetite for selling a portion of their site or the whole thing, but so I guess in some ways I'm not here on behalf of LRE because we're establishing the parcel for them, but assuming we can get this legal parcel passed, then we would proceed with transferring to LRE.
How loud is the substation? Anyone know? I mean, I know I've driven by them. There's that one, a little noisy, the one over by Oregon.
Louder when it rains.
'Cause I just don't, are we affecting the community that, how many houses are there? Just 1, 2, 3, 4? That's it?
It's either gonna affect the people over here or over there. I mean, the substation's going in no matter what. We're just moving it from
Yeah,
one
but there's,
side to the next.
yeah, there's just less people.
Yeah.
Probably on that corner is my guess.
I mean, to the nearest house from where this is gonna be, you're talking at least 750 feet.
Okay, that's pretty far.
Yeah, so this is not close by any means.
Yeah. And on this site right here, drainage basically kind of wants to flow this way, so I could see a detention pond in this area, right here at some point.
That's what I saw in the draft plans as well, as
Yeah.
stormwater retention off to the east.
Nice pond.
Publicly accessible.
Right next to the electricity.
That one wouldn't be publicly accessible, but I guess, yeah,
It's too bad.
Well, I mean,
Like being go fishing?
we can still sneak in and swim.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna swim in it.
Yeah, but I mean, there will, now, as we go through the design standards, I think there's gonna be opportunities for design detention ponds as architectural features too, or setbacks in front. You see a mix of it. Sometimes it's behind the building, sometimes it's in front of the building, at least in New Albany, so. So, I don't know, are there additional questions?
I have no idea.
So we're just voting on,
Fire safety, there's a fire safety thing, they'll get to it.
sorry, so exactly what are we voting on? We're just voting on allowing
Just the lot
separating
split.
this lot, basically,
Just the lot
right? So
split.
they
Yeah,
can put a
'cause-
vote in.
This is the why.
Yeah.
So I'll jump in for that. So in our codified ordinance, there's certain provisions that are set forth that for, we call it, not, I don't even call it a lot split, it's a
Division.
subdivision regulation. So all essentially lot splits need to come before the board for approval. Lot combinations don't. They can be handled in-house internally. In different communities, they're handled internally or through a board. So for Johnstown's codified ordinance, any lot split has to come to the board for approval. So that's why it's before you all tonight. It does meet all the regulations. In the past, we've had some that have been presented that don't meet the minimum lot requirements. So we'll give a recommendation that it obviously not be approved.
Right.
You gotta say that.
Or setback.
I'm just talking about
Create
future
a-
precedent because everybody will ask for a flag lot all
It's
the
gonna
time.
take space away from somebody else's lot. They no longer have the amount of green space that's
It's not.
required. So we would never recommend something that would create a non-conforming or that would be out of alignment with our codified ordinance. This one, because of its barren
They don't have
land
to say that.
and
They're
its
just saying
its conjunction with the
Technically, this just does a lot.
Trevor said was the driveway approach has enough width to where if they needed to put a driveway in from that access, they would have the appropriate amount of space. So this one does check the box very narrowly,
Tell you it's gonna
but it
be
would
sold
check
for
the box.
whatever he wants.
Jamie, the other piece with this is,
It's not.
if this site were to be developed,
Well, that's why it has to come to the
we
board.
just cross this bridge with Cologis, the easement area where they're looking to put the driveway on the north side and have access, street trees and things like that. Obviously, that's gonna be Cologis burden to bear, but we're gonna need a site plan essentially, when LRE does decide to present a package, and there'll be sidewalk provisions as well as, street trees on the Green Chapel side of things associated with it. Or by that time, it may abut, a public street alternatively to Green Chapel. And then at that point, along that street, it will have to have the appropriate, landscaping and setbacks and all that stuff, so.
Yeah,
Is
so-
that street gonna go all the way through? Did I miss that?
No, so what's
This is just
happening
an
now?
access drive.
Just,
Yeah,
so it's not,
yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
but they're gonna have another one from the north eventually come down?
So it's an easement, so it's not
Oh.
actually technically a part of their property. As Jamie mentioned, Cologis already has ownership of that, but they're granting LRE an easement.
To build the
an
lot.
Access
Okay.
easement so that they can put in the appropriate,
Should we plan for a road to go all the way through ever?
So,
no,
what I'm drawing in red right now,
Yeah, I'll let-
this is actually the likely scenario for the planned water lines that will run along where some of the electric easements are. On Cologic's eastern boundary, there's an electric easement as well as the city, an electric easement for LRE to bring their power to Duncan Plains and then bring it down to Green Chapel as they need to. AEP already has this easement in place on the southern boundary of Cologic's. Now, in the zoning, it requires, there's a significant mounding that happens here on the border of Cologic's. Because there's a electric easement in place, the electric easement, or utility easement trumps the zoning. So then you don't necessarily have to do all the heavy mounding, but what it does, it allows the city to bring water and sanitary, because what we're trying to do
trees on
here
that?
is create a
substation's
water
going right
line
here.
loop for redundancy to loop this through this entire
Yeah, that needs to be on
area.
Cologic's side.
So then this water line along Cologic's
That was their
property,
choice. Go about it this
now,
way.
the easement too
No, they need to
allows the
illustrate
city
that.
to service this. So everything would built to public standards. The idea is that we would probably be fronting the money with developer bonds and then getting reimbursed through the new community authority. But everything would be built to public standards and then turned over to the city, so. So there's utility plan, this looks incredibly simple right now, it's almost embarrassing simple. There's like 2 years of meetings that have gone into this right now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really know what we were building for a while. We
Right.
still don't necessarily know, but
be reflected on
I think,
Cologic's side plans.
based on the market demand, there's a good chance that
I mean, it should be, yeah.
this could develop as one site, this develop as one site, and this develop as one site.
Let me-
From like all economic driver industrial, you know, so.
It doesn't matter. Lane
But-
clearing is lane clearing.
Correct. So,
If it's an easement of 100 feet at least in width.
Anybody have any more questions for him?
requirements of that.
You had asked about, and I might have missed it.
It's like.
Expanding it, would that substation have to expand? Did you get your answer, or?
No, I just,
But I mean, a 100-foot buffer is not.
would it ever expand?
Could be worse.
With data centers coming in?
so, it's possible, I think it's very unlikely.
Okay.
And the reason why is, right now, LRE only has about 25 megawatts to service Cologix for the next few years. Eventually, they're gonna get more power, but that 25 megawatts will power Cologix's first building, which is planned to go in this general area. So Cologix would probably be building out, like any data center company around the country, or particularly Central Iowa right now, there's a little bit of a bottleneck for power availability, and that's gonna restrict them. But I think eventually, as the Cologix site builds out, we'll probably be tapping in directly to AEP, and we'll need to expand that substation.
So it will expand, is what you,
Yeah. Or they'll,
So it will not.
it will not.
I don't, yeah, I
they'll
don't,
tap in on the
yeah,
south
yeah, yeah,
side.
yeah. So,
Any more questions from the board? Anybody? Nothing.
No, the only thing that I have, so in regards to the flag lot, I know we typically don't like those. Do we need to say anything here for future precedent to make sure that, I mean, obviously, the electrical component of this is not in the record. They could get this lot split and do something else, but it's heavily implied that that's what it's for, so. Do we need to memorialize anything in here that this is
Is this the proposed here, that's when you say? Okay.
right up through there and kind of zigzag?
I don't know that y'all need to memorialize anything. I mean, I think I didn't express any caution with this, just mainly because it is for a power substation. And to Jamie's point, I won't be surprised if that flag stem changes 2 or 3 times over time as this gets developed. So I think that, I mean,
I just want to make sure it's captured in the minutes.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's
If
completely
20
fair.
of these flag lots show up tomorrow and I say no to all of them because
Yeah.
they're not,
No, and I think if that was the case, like and that's not what NACO's trying to do here at all, but if they were just
No.
trying to like avoid building a new public road by subdividing a bunch of weird little, I would then raise concern with that. But given that this is basically a public utility that will be serving
right,
more or
this
less
is to
anything
secure
around there,
a utility. It's not to make.
And there won't really be-
lots work.
we're trying to keep the sellable land as clean and open as
We
possible.
understand that you
Yeah.
are, but here in the next couple of years, as things develop, there are gonna be other people that come in and try to get flag lots to make odd situations work, so.
Why the zigzag? Why not just straight up?
follows ownership boundaries.
But they own all the land, don't they?
Yeah, but
So this,
one company bought it.
so
It's
that's a
fun.
good question.
If you look at the county
This
auditor page,
could,
it's fun.
you're saying, there's a little jog right here,
Yeah.
because if this came straight down, it would run into this existing roundabout. so
That's what I'm-
it's
but
offset
that's-
a little
that's-
bit.
would we
so
not want
that
it to go
the
off the roundabout?
Roundabout can actually get a road.
Keep in mind, that's a
You don't
piece of
want
private
private
property,
drive,
not a
you
right
want
of way.
It's a private drive. Okay,
yeah.
good point, good point, good
Yeah.
point.
Yes, if that was intended to be a public right of way, then yes, I
sure.
would say 100% line it up. But this is a private access drive, so in this case,
All the more reason why it's probably gonna change, because that roundabout indicates a road's gonna come up through there,
Well,
so.
yeah, because they own.
Yeah, because keep in mind.
It'll let
they're
them
not-
build that access road,
They're not
an
asking
access
for a curb
driveway,
Right
and
here.
then
Right.
when they
Right.
decide to build that roundabout stub, they can build it without messing with that access driveway too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the access driveway might even come out.
Oh, it will,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But you can do it simultaneously,
Yeah.
and both crews can work.
I got you. Okay.
Well,
All right. With no more questions, anybody have anything they'd like to say?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Kyle Cook,
Yes.
Brian Hebel,
Yes.
Ryan Green,
Yes.
Steve Dyer.
Yes.
Thanks, Jamie.
thanks, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, draft discussions, chapter 1159.
So we can discuss this tonight, and then we don't have to send this on. We can let Mark weigh in at the next one if we make some changes.
I think you need something tonight.
Yeah.
Or however you guys want to do it.
yeah, I was gonna say, this was, so I made these changes based on, I think, the request of this body, and it updated some things based on previous discussion, and so basically this draft is just back before you for further discussion, and
Yeah,
Did Mark send you anything at all?
no.
Okay.
I don't know, is there
So basically, just to give a little explanation, most of this is identical to what you saw. This would have been several months ago at this point. What I did focus on was trying to tighten, I don't want to say tighten, but better define what's under that light manufacturing use, because that's generally the kind of a catch-all in a lot of zoning codes, but that's a good and bad thing in some situations. So it's on page 11 of 16 of the packet is where light manufacturing starts. It's in that kind of pink, light red highlighting. I updated the definition and added those 9 uses there to try to add some just background for you all as either staff or you all are making interpretations as to what use is allowed. It's kind of impossible to do an exhaustive list, but I tried to get something that was,
Yeah.
at least in the ballpark that gave you the ability to say no for things that really didn't fit, but also the ability to say yes for things that might not be on the list but do fit in, sort of thing. And I want to point out too that one of the changes that have been made in here would be that all uses must be conducted within an enclosed structure.
Yes.
And that kind of goes a long way too, to even if uses kind of have the ability to create noise or things like that, at least if it's in a building, it can be closed, which helps. So that's kind of a, yes, we're opening up the allowable uses, but we're tightening down a little bit as to where they can be conducted or how they can be conducted on site.
Yeah.
I think, and then conditional uses, I saw that crossed out a bunch.
Yeah, mainly that's just because, sorry.
Does it appear somewhere else? Yeah, that's what
I rearranged the code
Okay,
because it
that's
made
what
no
I-
sense to me to have site development standards before conditional uses. Sorry, that bothers me.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's what I
They
saw
can
that.
also go to the PD district too, so there's gonna be overlap between the PD district.
Okay.
but, I didn't get to go all through the PD district like I wanted to make sure that use is transferred over, but I think we've captured a lot of it. I've got a couple changes here and we can kind of just go through it. So F1 there,
Sorry, what page are you on? F?
that'd be, yeah, page 10 there. 1159.02 F1 I.
I.
So we're good with all phases of vehicle maintenance. Put in like cleaning, window tinting, detailing, all that stuff. Or is that just all implied in there? I know we have some window tint shops that are here in town
I
already.
mean, we
so-
can put like,
It says body.
yeah, that's really kind of up to you. I mean, I would consider a detail shop kind of like automobile and equipment repair. You could, I mean, we can add auto detailing if you feel strongly about that. It makes no difference to me, but.
It's a minor thing.
But I think generally, if someone came in with that, I think that sort of use would be permissible in this district, is the intent, yeah.
And then F12 9 there, so that would be on the next page. I just want to specify, where it says, well, actually, it might be on page 12 there. So it says sheet metal and similar fabrication, and I know it says this is a revised list expanded there. You had a comment on it, but
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that they weren't manufacturing the actual sheet metal, and it's just the fabrication of the sheet metal. So to define that a little bit better,
Yeah, so,
'cause that's a whole different factory.
correct.
That's a foundry.
Correct.
That's a
So
foundry, and I
if
wanna
you
make
look
sure
at,
that-
if you look at the definition, number 12 on page 11 at the bottom, number 12, the first in the definition, packaging of design, assembly, finishing, processing, and packaging of products without the processing of raw materials. So in that case, if you're taking whatever iron ore and you're trying to produce sheet metal out of it, that is not an appropriate use. If you're taking rolls of sheet steel and you're bending it, producing something out of it and shipping it out the door, that would be an okay use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just trying to think, of different, as we look at this, I'm trying to picture places I've seen before. I know like in Coshocton there, they have that one facility that does, I think it's just a rolling. Honestly, that's not that bad, but it probably makes a lot of noise. It's out in the middle of nowhere for a reason.
Sure.
So I wanted to make sure that if we are fabricating sheet metal, we're cognizant of the noise and the smell in the processing of that. So I wanted to make sure we defined that as best as we could.
Yep.
Because we don't want to inadvertently end up with some sort of foundry. So F15 there, so plant nursery. How far do we expand into that as far as mulch, stone, soil sales?
I put that in there as I felt it was reasonably appropriate in terms of like impact, traffic, smell, noise, things like that. I don't have a good answer for that in terms of other than dropping a definition there to kind of define what you do and don't want involved. But I would appreciate input on that before I just
Yeah, I think
shot in the dark.
I think it depends on the square footage because, like, yeah, you have plant nurseries that you have like Willett's Nursery in Pataskil. It's not that invasive, but then you go to like Acorn that's over there in Westerville, and we may or may not want that over there. So I wanted to just see what you guys thought about definitions on that, or if we just needed to put it somewhere else in there of.
Where's Acorn? Is that the one off of like, you said Westerville, is that right off Worthington Road near Polaris? That
Yeah.
big one? Well, that was there a long time ago.
Well, yeah, and that was there when that area
Yeah, it
was
was nothing.
undeveloped and
Yeah.
nobody
It's
cared.
Like a
but-
mulch plant, like down the south
But
end.
we have, if you get a large site, I doubt we're gonna get anything that expansive, but if you go there off of, what is that, off of Cleveland Avenue or Westerville Road there, where they have, is that Ohio Mulch? That's over there by
Yeah.
Carsoni's?
Yeah, so I would classify them differently. So the nursery, which I'm assuming is a place where actually the plant is the focus of the product. So when I hear mulch and all the other components, I don't consider that a plant nursery. I consider that more of a retail mulch outlet, stone,
You're not
center.
I wouldn't want to be
Yeah,
manufacturing.
when I think of nursery, I think of what's happening on Acorn.
Yeah, I think
I
that's a
just wanted to
nursery.
see what everybody's in the room is thinking before
Well, I
we
guess-
go down
I
that
guess
road.
maybe I'm reading it wrong. Does everything have to be enclosed?
I guess that's a good point too. Yeah, in this
If
case,
everything has to be enclosed, then the nursery can't get that big.
that's true. If everything's in a greenhouse, yeah.
So then it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no problem with it when I read it like that.
It's
if
just
that's
like the
way it
ones
is.
out off
No, that's-
16.
That's a great point. And I think too, if you wanted to limit it a little further, so, which, keep in mind, like retail sales are not permitted in this district. So like,
So
but
it
if you
would be-
if you wanted to put in that definition or just a requirement of that use that that no retail to the general public is permissible, however, like wholesaling can occur, if they're gonna load up 15
Yeah,
trees.
that's my question.
15
was-
trees on one truck and it leaves, but you don't have people in their minivans and pickups showing up every Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
That's kind of different in my opinion, so.
So Trevor, could I jump off that? So the one after it, I actually have a note in mind.
It says retail and wholesale.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
sales.
Yeah,
Sale of
Products
product
manufactured on
manufactured
site.
on site. So for me, my recommendation for that was gonna be, if you wanted to allow it, retail and wholesale, you could put it as an ancillary to the primary. That way,
Yes.
it would represent the manufacturing of something, and let's say it was a window manufacturer and they wanted to wholesale some kind of sales out of there, if the board saw that
That was one of my
I'm
questions.
100% good with that
I'm right with
because
some of that too. the
when I
traffic
think of
flow.
these types of facilities around Columbus, kind of what we have over there and what we could have, there usually is some sort of commercial sales component out of that.
But you want it to be secondary to the primary, so it may alleviate the nursery, because that would drive, that's probably their primary piece of it. They're engaging in some type of retail. Obviously, I don't even know that you could constitute growing the product there. A lot of what happens at Acorn is they're shipping it in.
Yeah.
And that is all packaged in a pot or in a burlap sack. So for me, the production is not actually there. Now, if they wanted to have like out of Baker's Acres, they actually do grow from seed inside of a garden, or if it's a tree situation, which that's not going to happen there because the property value is going to be.
Yeah.
I'm good either way, but mostly I just wanted to avoid a 3-story tall mulch mound.
Oh, no, that's, and honestly, like, now that I'm thinking about it,
That's what I wanted to
I
avoid.
tossed that use in there, but realistically, keeping in mind that the only place that any of these uses could even be implemented are right there along Commerce Boulevard, I don't really know that that's kind of also the use that you all want out there. Like, to me, thinking about this now and having this conversation, it kind of makes more sense to just take that use out.
Yeah, you can nix it.
We take plant nursery out?
Yeah.
But we don't,
Easy
we don't,
peasy.
where is Almond Digger fall? It's
Not
on
there.
Oh, they're way outside the city
They're
limits.
not, they're not.
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
district, if you pull this up, this is, that's a good point, because you're kind of coming in at the
New guy.
three-quarter.
Yeah.
You're at the 3/4 mark of this
Right,
conversation.
right.
I need a place of reference. All right.
Yeah, so basically the way this is written is, in the background behind it is, there's a lot of this LM zoning, not just along Commerce Boulevard, but there's also some like near and in downtown and that sort of thing. So the whole impetus behind this was, how can we expand and make the properties within the industrial park
Already there.
more appealing, better utilized, things like
so they get
that.
more-
But let's not expand all of those uses necessarily like into downtown
Yeah.
and sort of thing. So that's why this is written in a way that there's a 2-acre limit and they have to be adjacent to Commerce Boulevard, basically. So that was the rationale behind it. And so trying to keep that balanced with expanding some uses overall because the current code is very limiting.
So
We're not going down. Okay.
this is the LM light manufacturing. Everything out here is, well, there's a little light manufacturing,
Right.
but.
Some of that's been
district-
replaced, actually, yeah.
It's completely separate zoning. So the light manufacturing that currently exists today is this gray area.
Yep.
This whole here is a quagmire. We won't even get into that. But the area that Trevor is referencing, and it's stated, and it's demarcated by roadways, and I think it's Commerce, Greenscapes.
Greenscapes there.
Yeah.
And I don't believe we included this one for
We did-
strategic purposes.
Yeah, we didn't include Endeavor, yeah.
It would open up this here for a lot of other uses and to get you all the way caught up. Concern being, there's a huge problem with transportation here. If we were to allow something here that had a high number of employment or
Trucks.
truck traffic, it would hinder this more than it already is. And this is a sizable amount of space. So if this were all to be manufacturing, now we've made a problem even worse. So what we're trying to do is open up the uses in these areas,
Okay.
but not unlocking this. This still has some really, really restricted and limitations on what that can be used for. That creates an opportunity for a conversation to exist. We just had this site here. The use was not permitted within the codified ordinance. And so what the body and the council did was they made a text amendment to allow for that particular use. So if this parcel was to be
Yeah.
suggested for some type of use, they would have to come in,
So they
bring in a text amendment.
Remove
and
that
then
necessary.
More than likely, it would be for a specific use, they could request traffic
have to
count
be right this
studies,
second.
No,
and
but
impact studies and things like that. So,
Okay.
so that gets you maybe at least a little bit caught up, but really the area that we're referencing right now is just for the areas that are on Commerce, Greenscapes, and 62.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nothing to do with the old LMs, because I know that's tax,
Yeah, this
right?
down here, so it has to be over a 2-acre parcel.
Okay.
So that was the other piece. This would have some availability, because it is off 62, so this would unlock anything here that would be a 2-acre parcel, which would maybe this, and this. So that would have some availability to do that.
So many ordinances that.
So there is some risk and vulnerability there, but
is not
there's already established buildings, so that would need to have a,
Right, that's tech, right?
yeah, it's tech.
Published.
Right.
So, and
Is that technically?
I would tell you,
So
this in our
62
comprehensive
Commerce.
plan flips to
and green.
Like planned neighborhood or village.
Well, yeah, I heard at one point they wanted to put like a bus stop in there or something, right?
Yeah, way.
That was like, yeah, so that's.
Yeah.
I will tell you that,
So if that's the case, then it's 62.
Or 62, right?
That's listed as 62.
Nope.
He said what he
crushed
said,
and
but-
killed and beaten to death.
All right, that makes sense. All right, thank you.
Honestly, I don't know why we're not opening up that.
No, it's fine, because it's just one use. I'm gonna copy in there, so
Traffic.
it's fine.
Any other comments?
Well, it just says, yeah, on 10-1, it says a small-scale craft brewery distillery. What's considered small scale? Is that defined somewhere?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go back and double check that because I pulled this from like a nationwide publication from like the American Planning
Yeah.
Association. So I need to go back and see.
What is sporting goods?
There may need to be like a square footage attached to that because I think in some, like a licensed manufacturing establishment, that's obviously handled by the state. But in terms of if we
12.
want to have
12.5 there?
a limitation on that, we certainly
Yeah,
can.
we don't want Anheuser going there, right?
Right.
Yeah, I have.
Right.
Truck traffic.
So
Out the wazoo.
There you go.
The only other one I had, Trevor, if the board's agreeable, is 115903 F. And that was
That's what I'm gonna.
cleaning up this.
Okay.
We no longer have any storage units.
I got
on
really
Pratt
expansive on it.
and Ford and all of that business.
sorry, where's that? I was
Yeah, where
typing
you
that
at,
last.
Sean?
115903 conditional uses.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the dawn of light manufacturing, whenever they instituted this, they gave a carve out for individual public commercial storage units, provided such units are located, and they
Oh.
gave these boundaries associated with it.
We'll never get.
To my knowledge, Kyle, you can probably chime in. I am unaware of any public storage units within these associated boundaries, Pratt Street, Ford Street. So are you, I think at this time, we can remove it. At some time, there was something
Yeah,
there.
I have it on my list here to be removed too.
Yeah.
I don't have it, I don't have it.
We don't have any now that we have to memorialize, and I don't want to see any new ones.
Well, and even if we change even if you make this change to the code now, any of them that are there, let's say that one's in there and you just forgot about it, it can still continue to operate.
legally
It-
non-conforming.
It just won't be able to be expanded, or if it.
Well, because
down,
what'll happen is
reestablished.
like today the trailer park is multifamily, but it's a trailer park, so it's not a lot of people. But tomorrow, if they want to build something in there and a council and zoning that is not any of us just says, okay, have at it, then all of a sudden they're gonna want to build storage right up next to that as soon as they
Potentially.
can.
No, I had a mark next to that too, so
Yeah.
I agree,
What about me?
And then, so I have an addition there on F, for 17. Be my addition here would be F17.
Oh, yeah.
Sports facilities, including indoor field space, batting cages, golf simulations, sports courts, workout facilities, and skating rinks. Because I've seen a lot of these business parks in other places in Columbus where you might get an indoor field for lacrosse or football or something, something cool. We get batting cages. I've seen D-bat go into a lot of places.
Where you at, Ryan?
You are, no, he's making his own.
Yeah, I'm
This would
just
be
making-
adding another
I'm
use.
with him on that, because I've been wanting to open up one of those things so bad.
Everybody in town does.
You could kill it.
Do you want some type of, my recommendation, have some type of, I think, defined piece that doesn't allow for, I think what you all are referencing, I think is gonna be fine, but transportation could be an issue. So if you have a sports complex that hosts
Oh,
could bring a lot
ball
of traffic.
games, soccer games, something along those lines, you're gonna have,
To make it just a practice facility, basically?
Yeah, you could.
I think you need to put something in there that doesn't have it be.
I think that-
We could always put it as a conditional use.
You
so
can do-
that-
yeah, you could do
so that It's
that.
gonna be under more scrutiny, or we have severe definitions in the parking code of what that would have to look like.
My concern with that is when you try to get into,
Mixing.
well, when you say you can use it for practice, but you can't use it for a tournament, it's hard to,
You're not gonna police that.
well, A, as a city, it's hard to enforce, and B, like from a legality standpoint, it's kind of splitting hairs. Like, what's it matter if a car is going to pick someone up for practice or if they're going to pick someone up from a tournament? It's a car going to a building to a,
It's more that the more people come to watch it.
Spectator.
I understand that, but from a regulation standpoint,
We have something in here
It
for
would
a
be-
traffic study, though.
you do have that, and that would still be
Heading over a
required.
certain threshold, you do have to do a traffic study.
And that would be regardless whether it's practice, professional, whatever, it still
Does
requires
the
a traffic
times
study.
change for the traffic? If they change their business, we can enforce the traffic study?
So the way this is written is any new building over 20,000 square feet requires a traffic study or a change of use. So let's say that like someone's in the old 31, like the paint people that are going in 31 Gifts. If they want to, they're in there for 5 years and they want to change that out and someone else is going to go in there, because that building's over 20,000 square feet, they will be required to come in and do a traffic study.
I love the idea. I don't think I want it there.
So the square foot of a football field is 57,000.
Yeah, anything like that's going to trip that
So you're
threshold.
gonna be over that $20,000, 20,000.
I'm probably in your camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I think right there, especially right now, I don't want to open up that can of worms. That's PD district stuff.
I mean, we do have some, we don't have a, I don't think we have a 50,000 square foot facility in there, but probably
Oh, I
not.
bet there is. 50,000
Be
square
able
feet.
to have a football field with some,
I'll almost put
Because we
money
don't
on
have
it
to
over.
worry.
Yeah.
This one's probably 200,000.
I think it's more
We're
likely,
now enemies.
I think it's more likely we get a D-bat, like if you've seen those.
The D-bag?
No,
mean-
have you seen those places,
I
D-bat, the
disagree.
batting
The
cage?
atrium building's a 250,000 square feet. It's 200.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
64,000.
Yeah, atrium is 264,000 square feet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It's-
That's,
You could put,
We have 3 football fields in there plus. some
think
stuff.
about your use types. You got your intermingling of different types of uses. That's where I'm getting hung up.
Well, why would they go there instead of somewhere else? Is it cheaper there?
Probably not.
I'd say not, yeah, because industrial
Has to be
properties.
Covered in this,
But they are putting them in industrial areas,
They do, yeah.
like over, ever been to Lockhart?
Powell, everywhere.
Yeah, Powell, yeah, they're all industrial
Plain
buildings.
City.
Interesting.
Like the,
Plain
what's
City
it-
has
what's
that big
um,
lacrosse thing over there.
yeah, I
I'm
think it's
cool with
D-bag.
it there, I'm fine with
Yeah.
it, but the traffic studies just, can you
yeah.
enforce it? Like, what do they do? What do they say? They say, we're gonna have this many customers, period, or this many customers these hours?
No. So a traffic study is not necessarily based on what information is told, like from an applicant to the engineer that would do it. An engineer is going to use the ITE, the Institute of Transportation Engineers. They have a guide that says a grocery store of X amount of square
Okay.
footage is pretty much guaranteed to generate this number of trips per day. So they will use
it won't change.
similar facility types and data that's been collected from across the country to evaluate the traffic impacts of something like
Well,
that.
Could we just make it as a, this may have already been said, just make it a conditional use?
I mean, Ryan
That's-
recommended that, yeah.
That's what I said,
You
yeah.
certainly do
We
that,
can
yeah.
do it as a
I would do
conditional
traffic
use,
studies
because
if I
then
were
it'll go
just
through an added level of
Inside
scrutiny.
dreams.
But we're
Well,
not
no, but
ruling
it's
it out.
conditional
completely.
use.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
just saying it has to fit
Yeah,
the,
conditional use gives
it
us
has
the
to fit the
opportunity to say,
neighborhood.
And that's what the CUP process is for, is specifically for that. For uses that kind of make sense but might need a little extra scrutiny, that's exactly what the CUP process is for. So that makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
maybe.
and there's a big difference between doing a small batting cage and some golf simulators and then trying to have,
Light manufacturing.
you know, a whole sports facility.
Right. I agree with that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think your light manufacturing, you're looking at $12 a square foot
I say put it as conditional
at a
use.
minimum.
Yeah, I have no idea on that.
That's kind of the going rate out there now. It's about $12 a square foot and higher.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, so you might get 10.
Okay.
How many empty lots are available out there? Are there any empty lots?
Looking on the auditor's website, there are a few. But honestly, there's really only,
I think there's structures on almost all of them.
I think there are, yeah.
It's hard to tell when you're driving around in there, because there's signs up and then there's fields, but you can't
Yeah.
tell what's what.
I'm sorry, did you say?
No, I actually, adjacent to that, no, there would be no truly vacant lots. I think there's enough space on a couple of lots where you might get some expansions potentially, but not, I don't really think you're gonna see a lot of ground up construction unless, for example, something happens on the tech parcels that they decide to sell in or aggregate or something, do
Do
something
you
different.
know something I don't know?
No, not at all. No.
As far as the parcels that change hands over there,
Because if they're selling, hang it.
You're-
No, but just thinking future plans like that would be an area where you could maybe like aggregate enough parcels to do something new, but obviously that would be a pretty major shift in.
Oh, yeah, especially after the build that they're doing, you know?
Nah, they're good.
Yeah.
the parcels off of green space, do you know the average size of those?
So the ones that have like where
I would
the,
imagine they turn over at a higher rate than the others as businesses
I would, ag-
go.
I think you're probably right there. I mean,
Parcels?
So if you're gonna get just the buildings that are over there.
Like the ones
If you're
that-
gonna get a batting cage or something, somebody might move into one of those because it's not cost prohibitive.
those A&E properties, the ones where a newer
Yeah.
building was proposed, they're about 35,000 square feet a piece.
You could get something like that into one of those.
Potentially, the only issue you're gonna have there is parking. So typically, if you have a little 10,000 square feet, you got a little workshop, little guys, maybe 5 guys coming in working. You throw in a 10,000 square feet batting cage, something like that, you're gonna have 20 people coming in, maybe 10, 15. It could be a parking situation, so they may not meet the threshold for parking, but it'd be a conditional use, so you guys can.
I would be fine putting it as a condition.
What about like, those CrossFit places, is that in there? Would that be, is it-
So I had,
That would not be permissible as drafted, however.
I had workout facilities that I listed in there, because I had indoor field space, batting cage, golf simulator, sport court, workout facility, skating rink.
I'll just say, I think a lot of that comes down to kind of preference of what you all want, because I think uses like that are kind of challenging
And
at
they
times.
can they can come to us and ask too if they want to add it.
Because a lot of times, like, yeah, you'll get weird uses that pop up in the kind of smaller industrial spaces that are kind of like, it kind of makes sense, but kind of, why are you here,
Well,
sort
I
of
think,
thing.
I
So-
think too, like, we're not gonna see a gym probably come in and say, I wanna buy 2 acres to put a gym there.
Yeah, most likely
Right,
not.
so I mean, it's okay to allow that to be done inside the building that's gonna take up the,
yeah.
but I don't think we need to list every
Okay.
single thing. And it just, that's my opinion,
I like it.
Okay.
So we're gonna put that under,
That will fall,
Conditional use?
yeah, that will fall under the conditional use
okay,
section, yep.
I'm good with that. And then I had, okay, so strike the storage, we did that. So then 115903, so this would be G or H, however it falls. I was talking about equipment rental facilities. I know that we had light engine repair in there, so I was thinking something like a Buckeye Power Store, if that wanted to go into there, or like John Deere dealership, some, tractor dealership, something like that.
Yeah,
We could put that under conditional use, because obviously we want everything to remain in the building, but if you look at most of those locations, they do have most of their tractors inside.
not the ones I go to. And I go to a lot of them because we repair the tires. I mean, most of them have all the stuff outside, extended and out and display, because that's what they want people to see.
That one that's there in New Albany,
Well,
off
that's
of
New Albany.
62.
They
I
like
know,
the
but
finer things.
that's what I'm saying. If we say you gotta keep them all inside the facility.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't think that we're gonna attract anybody.
Which one are you talking about in New Albany?
So if you go to the John Deere dealership in New Albany, they have some stuff outside that's like, they have like an L shape
I don't
basically
consider that,
outside, but.
I wouldn't consider that light manufacturing, though. In my mind,
wouldn't
that's,
either.
that's more retail.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
so
they've got
we-
an office
It's like
and
a
retail
dealership.
and.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about small engine repair in here, so if you have a small engine repair, you may wanna have mowers for sale or implements or something like that, and that's,
I mean, yeah, that's,
At wholesale though, right?
well, I think the way this is written, I mean, retail or wholesale of products manufactured on site, I don't know that I would, again, this kind of come down to splitting hairs, but like, you can certainly write a code this way, but I don't know, like, do you care if someone only sells things that were made on site, or do you care if they sell a lawnmower that they fix that someone,
Yeah.
like, I don't have an opinion on that.
hey, if you keep it inside the facility, I don't really mind.
And that's the way it's written, is everything
right.
must be.
I think that the idea was to create a code that was attractive. I don't think that we need to think of everything that needs to go in there, because we can still have people come to us and ask us for conditional use.
That's true.
True.
And I mean, there's certain things like that, I don't want it to become a retail space. That's just, again, my
Right.
opinion.
No, I think that's fair, because part of the reason that this was brought up too was that there is limited industrial space in the community, and so let's try to preserve that and open up the door for other employment-based uses, is
Right.
the general direction I was given, so I think that,
We've seen people do it here, like Stigler, I mean, their stuff is all inside. So they're doing
They
the
are.
mower repair and all their mowers are inside. Thorpe did it where all of his mowers were inside and he did the repair, so.
You're correct.
If
But
you
that's
wanted
not
to.
Buckeye Power and the stuff that you were talking about.
Oh, I,
before.
yeah, I just wanna have, mostly I just wanna open this space up to try to get more uses in there, try to spur a little economic development. somebody graduates from, you know, one of the small repair shops that they have here and they want a bigger facility and there's one open, you know, they could move their repair shop into there and still sell some tractors out of there or something.
Well, and then I go back, what's small again? In that definition is repair or services for small equipment. What's the definition of small?
Small equipment, typical, I think it says mowers in there. I don't have it right here in front of me, I'd have to look
It's
at it.
household appliances, lawn maintenance equipment, or
There you go.
similar items?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
just-
think,
Be okay taking out.
I think Kyle's touching on a good point.
I mean, it gets junky.
Away from him. I think Kyle's jumping on a good point, and a concern that are we blending retail in with the industrial? And I'll go a step further. I think it has some mixing of uses that could be problematic sometimes. The other thing that I'll bring up is, going off of Trevor, this area is meant to drive employment and drive tax revenue for the city.
Yep.
So your retail typically doesn't get that done, so you're gonna incorporate more retail area, which is limiting now your potential for manufacturing jobs that produce more revenue and more income. So what you may have is retail flipping from its traditional spaces into a manufacturing area because the rents are a little bit cheaper. And then now all of a sudden you've cannibalized your own business park.
Yeah.
And the intended employment base is no longer there.
Well, and on that note, I would even be okay taking out taking out anything that has to do with mechanics altogether. Because, I mean, ultimately, I never thought of that as a place to where we would put auto repair. Now, I have been to big body shops, and I've, you know, the ones that would go into something like that.
Yeah.
And yes, they can be nice, but most places that you get, you got tons of broken down cars in the front lot. They can't be pulling those inside,
Yeah.
you know, to repair them. So I actually think we're going down a road that I would take out altogether.
Yeah, I wouldn't wanna see a bunch of cars outside, but I mean, definitely the auto body places, and I mean, those
Yeah.
guys that work in an auto body shop, they're getting paid, so I
Right,
mean,
but what if I
would
wanna
argue
repair
there's-
tires? Can I do that in an auto body shop? And then what am I gonna do with the tires? Cause we already got that right over there.
Right, you're gonna stack them outside. Now, we do have rules in here as far as,
Sure, but then we're eliminating them from a possibility of being there anyways.
we're gonna make it tough on them.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna wanna be there. I'm saying I would just take it out.
Take out auto repair altogether.
Yep, small engine auto repair maintenance.
But if you had like a Safe Light or somebody who wanted to do windshields or something like that, and they do them fully enclosed, and, I mean, like, there's a lot of niche businesses like that
I
they
agree,
work with
but they're
fleets.
still parking the
And you know,
cars outside.
I don't have to tell you, you
Yeah,
know.
I agree, but yeah, if you wanna get into like body shops, that's still gonna be messy. You're still gonna have junky cars sitting out front. Now, I don't care, that's just my opinion, you know, I'm ultimately, I don't think it's gonna look great, and it's not what we're going for here. Yes, if you wanna do a Safe Light, then you can put in window repair. Because window repair, you typically don't always have a smashed up car, cause it's after the body shop gets done fixing it, and then you get the
Yeah.
window repair. But
Yeah, there's definitely a line.
I think he said it a few times, we're splitting hairs over adding too much,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that, but yeah,
And I know there's different sizes of buildings, like, you know, the Ohio Pack building's a much different clientele than when you go off Greenscapes and there's those smaller shops back there.
Yeah.
Because that's never gonna be mass manufacturing of any kind, just because of the size that those shops are. So that's where you're gonna have somebody who wants to put,
We find a lot of incubator
It's like a struggle
um,
trying to fill up the
space
space versus
in the A&E
focus
properties.
on making.
I think it's,
That's what it looks like.
yeah, the A&E properties, the ones Ryan referencing, it's usually conducive to incubator businesses where
Belong there now, 'cause I-
business is starting out, and that's a small spot for them, but then they start to grow. So having those incubator spaces available for them is helpful. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
This discussion got me back to the sports place. I do want those sports places there, but now I'm thinking about the number of employees.
so
and
wait a
it's
minute, so
not
we're
a good
friends
spot
again.
for it,
So-
right? We are now friends again.
I know, but the amenity, the value to the city, which
I
we're
mean, I
already-
get that, but I think.
It's cool, it is, but it doesn't,
Maybe that's for city council stuff.
Basically, it's a big storage
Like,
unit.
we're zoning, right? The job is for that area to be successful and bring an income to the city and look nice.
And potentially, not to derail this conversation, but I think too,
It is.
It's tough.
integrating that sort of use with some other sort of retail or restaurant uses makes a little more sense to me, other than, like, do you really want your industrial park to become a destination is a question, right? And like, I think the answer to that is no. However, I agree with you, Ryan, that those are kind of a unique entertainment opportunity that are new and kind of popping up, so why preclude
I
it?
mean, if we had, and here's what it is too, because you're gonna have cycles of the market, so you may end up with a long-term vacancy.
That's true, but I think one of
And if
those,
somebody brings a football field in there, or, you know, an athletic space.
the problem is,
I don't.
those have to be custom built. Like, you're not, even Axiom might have a 32-foot clear height. That's not anywhere near enough to do, like, that's barely enough to do basketball,
no
much
going
less
game.
like football and stuff like that. So like,
They're gonna want an alcohol permit. And then
well, and that's the part of it too. They're gonna, stuff like that will probably want food. They'll want to do food. They'll want to do, like, that's where they
I
make
think
their
it's
money,
in a-
right?
If
So,
I buy an
another
alcohol
spot.
permit somewhere else, though, I can bring it here.
so I can see both sides of it. I think that there are probably, at the end of the day, better locations for that sort of use. However,
I get
you all are interested in including it, we
that
can.
now.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Strike it, leave it.
I think, I was all for it and I came to every meeting trying to fight for that, but now I'm not.
Now he's done.
It just, it realized, like, what, it's not the best place for it. I really want to hear, but that's,
You want high-density workforce in that area.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the best place for it.
Well, except for we don't want a high-density workforce in the area because we're worried about traffic.
That's right.
Yeah,
No,
well,
you want
Since
like
we're worried about traffic.
highly qualified,
So that's
highly
like, what do
skilled labor
what do
force.
you really want in
Well, I
there?
think
skilled labor force.
in this
Well,
case,
You want it to be a
Actually,
housing
quiet
development, like we
employees.
choke it to
Yeah.
death, so it's a housing development, or like?
no,
what
I
are we
think in
doing?
this case, like,
like a tech tire.
the
Then
impetus,
we don't want to develop the other portion of it, so I mean, I don't know.
no, I think the impetus for this was like, we know the traffic issue is real at 37 and 62 in downtown. If we're going to make that worse, let's be very selective about making sure the city gets something out of that at least. I guess is kind of where my head's at with that is, yes, sure, you might introduce more traffic out there, which has always been don't do it. But in this case, would you rather have someone bring 15 or 20 decent paying jobs or have 10 people that work there mainly on the weekend that at a minimum wage because they're retail employees basically? Like, and then you're dealing with a lot of people potentially from outside the community coming into there, making your issues worse. Like, those are the sorts of things that go around in my head when I'm writing these regulations is, sure, you have the chance here to exacerbate that problem slightly, but again, at least the city's getting an economic return out of that.
And we know that 80% of the traffic that comes through the city doesn't stay here. It just passes through.
It does, yeah.
So, I mean, knowing that, you have to have a traffic problem before anybody will help you repair it. But, I don't know. Hard to reinvent the wheel at a zoning meeting, but
So,
So,
I would say, you
Someone
know my
comes in and
opinion
would come
on it.
back,
I mean,
it'd be up for debate, right? And this is what you're saying, it would fall
it's under conditional use.
It's under conditional use, we don't need to write it into the thing, let's not stress ourselves.
well, yeah, but now we're on to small engine repair and mechanical too.
and just for Brian, so if it's written in as a conditional use, it's implied that it's allowed.
Yeah.
And so if it's something you don't necessarily want
Maybe
to
you don't want to write it in.
to
Get out of the
do, then I would say remove it. Now, to Kyle's point, there's nothing preventing someone that has an idea to come in and say, we want to do a text amendment.
Yeah.
And there is a path, and it happened this year. So
let's start the
it is an opportunity, so if somebody does come in and it creates the right thing, if they had the small engine repair or the sports complex or whatever the case may be, allowing for those things still has a path, but writing it in may signal something different than what
Okay,
you all are
so we
wanting.
can
Yeah,
still approve it, if Bo
All-
Jackson wanted to come in and build a big dome, you mean?
If they wanna come in, they can come in and ask. It's just less
Yeah.
likely they will if they don't
They don't
see it.
Ultimately, there were two things that we were looking at doing with a restructure of this. With the light manufacturing was to encourage better usage out there, other than pottery and
Tanner,
tannering,
Yeah, I saw the
whatever it
original.
is, stable building, anything like that.
bone crushing,
Yes.
yes.
And then to protect the small area of light manufacturing that butts right up against residential, because we didn't want tannery or something like that going in there,
Or automotive repair.
or automotive repair.
So that was,
So it was just kind of, one, to protect the area that was near residential and to open up commerce in a way that's more attractive to people. So I think that what is here is good. I didn't see anything that needed to be added, but I hear you. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong in doing that, obviously. But those were the two reasons that we were going after this.
I'll jump in to get a conclusion.
Yeah.
And I'll toss them out there, and then you guys can say, leave it, add it, whatever the case may be. So we'll start with the easy one. I believe I heard you say remove automotive repair
That's what I said, but I don't know
in
what the
general.
others.
And I didn't know if the rest of the board was in agreement, or at least a majority.
I'm in agreement.
Okay.
I know for me, it's where you draw the line because you could have a body shop that does generate a good amount of income. I mean, I know, I just had a buyer 2 years ago that was making $150,000 a year. He's a body shop guy. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I know there's some good jobs in there.
Yeah, but you got 10 employees that are there, right? And we're making money
where's
on
your head
not
at?
their cars that they're fixing, but on their salaries, right?
Automotive repair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see a stack of junk cars out there, but I also,
Yeah, no, I don't want it there either.
Okay.
No,
So-
no junk cars.
Removing automotive repair. The last one that's still up on the table was the addition that Ryan wanted to add, and that was the ball fields.
We both wanted it.
we were also gonna
Changed my mind.
We're also gonna strike, sorry, we're gonna strike
I should have went to
Right.
charity tonight. It was a waste of time.
nursery and also repair and service for small equipment items, because that would be in the same vein. I mean, you're kind of gonna, yeah.
Yeah, we already had that on 37 with Possum's
Yes.
yard, yeah.
Yes.
Do we have a large retail area though, like we have large manufacturing?
For Johnstown,
Yeah.
we have,
The heaviest commercial you all have is out near the Khyber Run
Don't,
shopping
then we need an
complex.
area to put things to go though.
Yeah, future problems.
I would tell
Well, that's-
you. So if you did a survey, and this is, I'll actually let
Yeah,
Trevor
PD district is
opine on this.
technically that, isn't it?
But there's no retail in there either.
Retail, considering the size of our city and what is currently permitted out
Well,
in
then-
the PD district,
I guess we need to talk about that
do you
too.
feel that we have a sufficient amount
But
of
not
retail or
not with
abundance?
this.
I don't want, I agree.
So it would be off this map. This
Traffic
map's a
out
little
there?
outdated. Everything that Jamie was
Focus
talking
the
about,
traffic out that
that's
way.
all part of a
Maybe-
plan development.
maybe
It basically has its
there's
own zoning code that applies to it.
Okay.
This whole section here is
Because I want to fill
retail.
it, but
This
also.
is retail, that's all retail. This has a component down here that's retail, so.
That's why I said. we don't have to do
So
it.
we have something comparable, because
No, we
that's
don't.
like
No, we
literally the
don't.
only place.
We gotta
we
see
can
how
put
Powell
people.
does it. Like, how does Powell have it?
You got
Their
me.
size, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that you all have, without short of a market study, like I can't give you, I think you guys probably,
So like New Ulm
if anything,
has
maybe have
but it's
a
on
little
the side.
too much commercial space if you're having vacancies. However,
Ralph Fallon.
that's
Brothers is
pretty quick
back
to
there.
change. I mean, I don't like, I'm not saying you guys need to go annex in like zone commercial property. You're not dealing with that issue.
Sunbury has
70
this
acres of
up
mixed
there
use.
by
Yeah, there could be a ton down there.
Astamo up there.
There can be, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be
So
retail.
we have
There
areas,
can
it's
be,
not just that
right?
available
Like
for people to move
Say
into.
CrossFit gym and things like that, right? We're gonna have to amend this to allow it to be smaller than 2
You
acres,
mentioned that,
right?
yeah, I heard you say that. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
we do that, then we jeopardize the light manufacturing that's right up against residential.
So it
that's
seemed,
why I
we
said
seem like
that
we
you're not gonna get
raised,
that
we
in
came to a
large
conclusion over
facilities.
here.
Yeah,
You're gonna get it off
Yes.
Greenscapes.
Run
It's
through it?
the only place those.
add, or remove, don't add.
remove auto repair, remove repair and service for small equipment. I will go back for the craft brewery and craft distillery to look at the definition for small scale.
I think it's just little beers.
Yeah, only 7-ounce pour.
Like Kings.
Like Little Kings?
Yeah, you can make little kings.
You can open a brewery here if you're little kid.
No tall boys.
Taking out plant nursery, better defining number 16, retail or wholesale of products manufactured on site, adding in that must be an ancillary use and secondary to the production use on site. Then we have striking the commercial storage units, adding, let's see, and then adding to the CUP list, the sports complex, indoor fields and things like that. that correct, or are we taking that one out?
What do you think about pausing there, right, until Mark comes back next
Well, let's,
next meeting?
do we want to answer on the sports facility or wait till Mark?
You want feedback now? Yeah.
Oh, it does, I
What's your
mean,
feedback?
I was for it, but now I'm not.
like I said, I have no opinion.
I'm a no.
Okay.
And you're not for it because it's not the high, it'd be $10 minimum wage jobs.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yeah.
we identified a missing hole in our city where like we don't have, like, how does Powell do it? How do these other cities do it next? To
I would want to do some research, because those uses can be, I would say, can be pretty intensive over a short amount of time, and so
Oh, they are.
I think at least
And I
understanding
think
where
the city
Powell and other
wants it,
places.
but
Oh,
we
I
just
think
don't
it would
know
be
where.
amazing. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
amazing to have.
I don't think anybody would complain if one showed up.
Yeah, that's why I think we gotta like wait till next
Do
week.
you want it there? Is the
Right.
question.
I mean, my response to that would
now,
be, if you
no,
want one, that's
but-
great, but I would not put it out
I
there.
wouldn't put it there.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
thing.
And that doesn't butt up, how far down Sportsman Club does that go? Just not very, right?
Yes, you
Just to
wouldn't
that
be
like
able to put
social
it-
security.
All
numbers or whatever.
businesses that
Yeah.
people talk to me about zoning, that is the one they
it really?
talk to me, 100%.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is,
It would be
we're a
cool.
sports town, believe it or not.
And-
It's
and-
Ohio. We're just, that's, yeah.
I
I mean, if you look at Plain City, they have it out in their, they have it along their business park there.
Yeah,
Um,
they do, and it's
It's
by
gorgeous.
By the way, they are the best,
who else has one? I mean, you have,
because that's Ohio Premier, that's,
yeah,
that's
you have
top tier
the,
talent. They're doing it right, but you're right, we can't put traffic through that freaking downtown.
So figure out where you want it.
Yeah,
and then
not
put it
there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how we do that or how we end up there, but
Well, yeah.
right now,
PD district.
no. Yeah, well, PD district
the-
for sure.
do we allow the sports stuff in the PD district?
I don't know, to be
don't
honest.
Pretty
think we do.
expansive, we could check.
It's pretty expensive compared to your current
But
zoning
that PD
codes.
district's a
I'm a
super
no on
expensive
it,
land,
Light
right?
manufacturing district.
Yeah.
Depending, when they go to sell it for if it goes that way and they start developing some retail stuff in there, I mean, the land value just isn't as high on
We
that.
don't have a lot of
Two of us
retail.
made a decision on that.
Yeah.
I know.
Still, where are you at, Ryan?
You're like, I'll say.
For it, I brought it.
All right. Well, I
There
don't,
you
I'm
go.
not
We
gonna
got- we
waste,
got three
I'm not
no's,
gonna waste
Trevor
your time
striking.
and bring something I don't like.
It's gone.
We can talk you out
It
of
can always come back, and I'm happy to do a little research as well,
long
just
as
to see.
those- Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, you want to put a pin in it there then? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well,
The other
you
stuff
want
I
to finish
just
your
offered
list,
up, I
Ryan?
didn't really, wasn't
So
really attached
I
to
will
it.
just say the
What
other
you thought
the
about
other
it.
pieces that are in
I like
here,
playing devil's advocate.
primarily in 1159.04. A lot of that strike through underline was stuff that I've been working through with the design review board in terms of getting some better aesthetic requirements for there. We do not need to include those tonight. I'm trying to keep all these ordinances together so I don't end up inadvertently overriding them.
Get it?
But that said,
You have more to go through.
yeah,
No. Oh, yeah, the only other thing I had was in 1159.04 D5, three eyes there, on fencing. So I'm good with all of the fencing, but I know that we have aluminum fence in there already, like the black aluminum fence.
it's fine, doesn't
I'm
it?
fine with, that's a classy looking fence.
Is it solid? Or is it just like pick?
Can be, depends on how you make
I've never
it.
seen that. I mean, I would say though, or other similar materials would capture that. The intent is that you're not putting up like corrugated sheet metal or something like
Yeah,
that.
we don't
So I mean, if they want to do extruded aluminum panels and they're at least a half-inch thick, then go for it.
Corduroy sheet metal.
I mean, if you put up an aluminum fence,
Are you talking about like
Create your own electricity.
Yeah.
Create your own
the
electricity.
medical-
the medical marijuana
yeah,
fence?
Curaleaf.
yeah, like they have one. I've seen it
It's like a
done in a
security-
nice way before, and if you're gonna do that with arborvitaes down through there to have your screening, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, to be honest with you.
I think.
Reference what that would be considered.
Hold on though. Let me look at this.
There's another term for it.
In this case,
That's
that
where you do it.
that fence wouldn't be applicable because this requires that all fence. This is for screening of outdoor storage. So fencing in that
Okay.
case has to be 100% opaque. So I don't think aluminum fencing in that case is the problem.
You don't want what you got on track street. Or not track,
No, there's one on track.
There is one on track.
They have,
Oh,
they have
yeah,
that,
the trash
yeah, the steel fence over there,
Yeah.
Nice.
and it's got a foot head start off the ground too.
That shit.
They got a permit.
Yeah.
that's good.
So, okay. So the reason I bring that up is that may change. I'm working through that with the design review board, but if you have comments, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I
it
mean-
doesn't have to be tonight. I just
Thanks for
I
doing that,
understand
Trevor.
for storage purposes, yeah, you want want it 100% opaque. But if you're gonna put up a fence
And generally,
over there, I don't mind the aluminum one, especially if you're gonna put a row of arborvitae down.
oh, no, that's fine. Yeah,
Get
yeah.
your screening anyway that you're after, and honestly, I think it looks pretty nice.
Yep, okay. I will make those updates and send a draft of that back to Sean and Teresa.
Thank you.
Okay, the next meeting, we should be able to finalize it.
Yep.
It's the second Tuesday, so everybody's aware. Sorry about that.
So everybody's
I like
aware?
that. I like the first you ignored my call and I go, he must have been called in.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
sitting
we
over
all
here-
assume
We're
that.
sitting over here thinking there's a
I
police
said, there's no
riot
way
like
Steve
going on
wouldn't be
downtown.
here.
No,
Steve's
but
in the
we
middle
did go
of
to
it.
the AB6 protest, and there was a gagged Mickey Mouse there. Cool. Good. That's really creative.
You want to adjourn?
Yeah, let's say, let's adjourn the meeting.
Any other business not on the agenda?
Idea.
Nope.
Didn't know
I
we
make a
had
motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.